DC man sues over detention for Star Wars protests. What is going on with this one? So, this is again another blind spot, but this time it's a blind spot for the right, as you've only got 10% of the distribution is coming from the right, 55% from the center, and 35% from the left. So mostly center-leaning reporting when it comes to this, with 92% of the sources being high factuality or above. My source is pulled from Law and Crime, which is fourth down on the factuality list, has very high factuality, center rating. Man arrested after playing Darth Vader's theme at National Guard troops files a lawsuit. Let's get into the article here. A Washington, D.C. man arrested after playing music from Star Wars at federalized troops is suing for violating the First Amendment. In a 17-page complaint filed Thursday, attorneys with the American Civil Liberties Union give the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia a quick refresher on John Williams' pen score to one of the most popular science fiction franchises of all time. In the Star Wars franchise, the Imperial March is the music that plays when Darth Vader or other dark forces enter a scene or succeed in their dastardly plans, the lawsuit begins. It's also the soundtrack of Sam O'Hara's protest against the National Guard deployment in D.C. The song is considered a theme, a non-diegetic piece of audio used as a refrain whenever certain sorts of narratives unfold on screen. In August, President Donald Trump dispatched members of the National Guard from across the country to the nation's capital. After a few weeks of such deployment, O'Hara began protesting the presence of such troops according to the lawsuit. The plaintiff was motivated by the roughly 200-year-old tradition of civil law enforcement in the U.S. and deeply concerned about the normalization of troops patrolling D.C. neighborhoods, the filing says. So O'Hara turned to the authoritarian universe, or perhaps rather galaxy, created by George Lucas in order to contextualize his dissent against the troops performing police duties according to the lawsuit. This is amazing. He began protesting the Guard members' presence by walking several feet behind them when he saw them in the community, the lawsuit reads. Using his phone and sometimes a small speaker, he played the Imperial March as he walked, keeping the music at a volume that was audible but not blaring. Mr. O'Hara recorded the encounters and posted the videos on his TikTok account, where millions of people have seen them. On September 11th, O'Hara was arrested according to the original petition. On that day, Ohio National Guard member Sergeant Devin Beck was not amused by this satire, the lawsuit alleges. That day, Beck was patrolling in uniform with several other National Guard troops near the intersection of 14th Street and R Street Northwest, the lawsuit states. Then came the protest in question. Mr. O'Hara calmly walked behind the Guard members, began playing the Imperial March aloud on his phone, and started recording, the filing goes on. In less than 2 minutes, Sergeant Beck turned around and threatened to call the D.C. police officers to handle Mr. O'Hara if he persisted. Mr. O'Hara continued recording and playing the music. Sergeant Beck contacted the Metropolitan Police Department. Soon, 4 members of MPD arrived and, in essence, did what Sergeant Beck had threatened, putting Mr. O'Hara in handcuffs and preventing him from continuing his peaceful protest, the lawsuit claims. The complaint leans into phraseology of the introductory text scroll used for exposition purposes in each iteration of the film series. The law might have tolerated the government conduct of this sort a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the lawsuit continues. But in the here and now, the First Amendment bars government officials from shutting down peaceful protests, and the Fourth Amendment, along with the district's prohibition on false arrests, bars groundless seizures. Next, the filing accuses Beck and the 4 named MPD officers, J.M. Campbell, Tiffany Brown, Edward Reyes Beningo, and Alfonso Lopez Martinez, of violating such constitutional mandates. Particular ire, however, is reserved at the MPD who compounded these violations by needlessly prolonging the length of Mr. O'Hara's seizure and using excessive force by placing handcuffs tightly around his wrists and failing to loosen them after he complained, the lawsuit alleges. The lawsuit explains how O'Hara sought to join the discourse surrounding the deployment of troops and notes that DC's own Attorney General sued to end the deployment. The plaintiff says he used his phone and on one occasion a small speaker to play the Imperial March at National Guard troops on 3 occasions without incident, even occasionally drawing smiles or laughs from the troops he protested. On each occasion, Mr. O'Hara did not speak with the Guards members he trailed, the complaint reads. He played the march at a volume loud enough for people in the vicinity to hear, but not at a blaring level. The plaintiff also makes clear to say that he never interfered with any of the actual law enforcement activities, but rather limited his protest to the occasions when troops were walking on patrol. On the day in question, roughly 2 minutes into the protest, Beck allegedly told O'Hara, "Hey man, if you're going to keep following us, we can contact Metro PD and they can come handle you if that's what you want to do. Is that what you want to do?" Mr. O'Hara, in response, claims to have said nothing but continued to play the orchestral arrangement. "That's what you want to do," Beck allegedly said as the song continued. "Okay." When MPD arrived, one of the officers first suggested O'Hara was harassing the troops and later amended the allegation to suggest that O'Hara was assaulting the troops, which the plaintiff disputed, instead saying he was peacefully protesting according to the lawsuit. Mr. O'Hara was correct, the complaint goes on. He was not harassing or assaulting the Guards members. In fact, he was, in fact, standing several feet away, recording them and playing the march. Nor had Mr. O'Hara assaulted or harassed the Guard members at any point during his interactions with them. The lawsuit announces the effort to ensure accountability, secure compensation for his injuries, and vindicate core constitutional guarantees. O'Hara's lawsuit claims two First Amendment violations and one Fourth Amendment violation, all three of which use 1983 civil rights liability theories, and two separate violations of Washington, D.C. law. That's 1983 civil rights liability. Hey, thanks for watching this clip from Nightly News this morning. If you haven't, make sure that you drop the video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video or when we go live on Tuesdays and Fridays.